Hey, what is up guys? We're going to be doing a quick deck profile of DDDs. Now this deck has been doing pretty well in OCG alongside ABCs and Blue Eyes. And if you guys don't know, the recent October ban list for the OCGs have just been released. And apparently Swirl Slime and Lamia have both been hit to 2. Now for us, I don't think it's going to affect our next ban list, which will probably be after the Pendulum Domination structure deck, because we don't even have Lamia right now, so it's not really a huge deck right now in TCG, so that's unfortunate, but it's still a very fun deck. It's one of my favorites, and without further ado, let's just get started. Alright, so for monsters, we're going to begin with 3 of the Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. Pretty much the main card of the deck, one of the staples. You have to play it to help go for your rank 8s. Basically, you're using both his Pendulum effect and his monster effect. Just a really great card. Most of you should already know what it does, and if you don't, you really should just search it up yourself. Then we're playing 2 DD Savant Thomas. Again, it's to combo off together with the Ragnarok to help go for your rank 8s. So yeah, pretty much a really important card. I think 2 is a good number. 3 is too much. 1 is not enough, just in case your opponent might somehow get rid of it by banishing it. So 2 is really good. Then we are obviously playing the 3 DD Savant Kepler. It's pretty much the search of the deck. It searches out your Dark Contract. It's really good. Then we are playing 1 DDD Rebel King Leonidas. A lot of people might have different opinions about this. People might actually say it's a bad card. The Pendulum effect you'll never use, but basically the monster effect is when you take effect damage, except during damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, gain life points equal to the damage you just took. And then, as long as this card's on the field, you don't take any effect damage. It's a really situational card. It's better to have Oracle King Diarch alongside your Dark Contract so that you can just gain the life instead. But in the situation where you can't afford to lose any more life from Dark Contracts and you don't have Oracle King Diarch on the field, the Leonidas in the hand is quite a handy card. So I'm testing it out, and it's been doing really well because firstly, it's also a level 7, so you can also help overlay into a Big Eye or Draco Sack. Overall, it's been working out for me. You should try it out before you actually think it's a bad card, and see if it works for you or not. Alright, so moving on, we are playing 3 DD Swirl Slime. Pretty much the main card. Obviously in OCG it got hit to 2. Let's just hope it doesn't happen in the TCG, but basically it just helps fusion summons so easily, and even in the graveyard you can banish it to special summon any DD monster from your hand. So overall, a really good card. I hope it doesn't get hit. Then we are also playing 3 DD Necro Slime. Again, it's a really good card. Might bump this down to 2, but for now 3 has been working pretty well for me because it can be a dead card in the hand. However, sometimes it is good as a discard fodder for Dark Contract with the Witch. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I'm liking this ratio of it, and it's been working out for me so far. So then we are playing 2 DD Baphomet, basically just to help bring out Wave King Caesar. Baphomet is just really good because when you have that Kepler on the field, there are ways of bringing out Baphomet onto the field as well, and then just overlaying it with the Kepler. Otherwise, you end up having a Kepler on the field with 0 attack, and your opponent's going to attack you for quite a bit of damage depending on what they play. Then for the last DD monster, we are playing DD Savant Galilei. Galilei, it's been a tech for me. In some situations, I don't want my opponent banishing my DD monsters or my Dark Contracts, so I have a Galilei on the hand just in case, and it's been working out pretty well. And even if I don't use that effect, it's still good fodder for Dark Contract with the Witch, or perhaps Dark Contract with the Swamp King to help fusion summon and stuff like that. So overall, it's not a bad card, and I like it. I might take it out I'm definitely taking it out when the new support comes out, but right now I think it's doing pretty well for me. Next, we are playing 1 of the Gadala, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. You can pretty much play any Kaiju you want. This is the only one I had lying around, so I pretty much just added it to the deck. The awesome thing about this is it's a level 8, so it's a good trade-in target as well. Then we have Maxi. I'd probably play more Maxis. I'd probably take out the DD Savant Galilei and add in a second Maxi. It is only at 2 on the ban list, so yeah, definitely a good card to help you draw. I think it's one of the best hand traps you could play for this format, and the coming formats as well, so overall, just a good card. Alright, so moving on to spells, we're playing 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. Basically, this is the Searcher. Once per turn, you can add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand. And it's just a really amazing card, and obviously during your standby phase, you are taking 1000 damage. And then we are playing 2 Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Basically, this is to help you fuse your cards. As I mentioned that I have the Galilei and like the Leonidas, I might take those cards out to add in a 3rd Swamp King, but for now 2 is more than enough for the deck. It really works out for me. It's been doing so well. So then we are playing 1 for 1 and 1 Foolish Burial. Basically, Burial helps you send your cards to the graveyard. DDDs work that way. You need pretty much all your monsters in the graveyard. It's not going to do well if it's all in your deck, so really good card there. And the 1 for 1's to bring out Kepler, and sometimes in certain situations you might even bring out Necro Slime. They're pretty good cards for the deck. Then we are playing the 1 MST and the 1 Twin Twister. I think playing 2 Twin Twisters is not that great, in the fact that I don't necessarily want to discard because sometimes I might need to keep the fodder for Dark Contract with the Witch, or maybe the Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Because if I discard it with Twin Twister, the monsters will get banished when I use Dark Contract with the Swamp King. So usually I don't want to discard too many times. So 1 Twin Twister and 1 MST is a really good ratio for me. Then to finish it off, we are playing 1 Creature Swap and 1 Trade-In. So basically we have enough level 8 targets. We're only playing 1. We don't really need to play any more. But yeah, it's a pretty good card to help you get your Savant Thomas into the graveyard. So overall, a really great card here. And the creature swap is because we're playing Kepler, and we don't have enough room to add any more creature swaps. With the 1 right now, I think it's more than enough for our deck, so yeah. Now, if you guys are wondering why I'm not playing any Allure of Darknesses, I just don't think it's that great for the deck as of now. I might add it in later, but for now I haven't had any problems with my deck in terms of consistency and draw power. I think it's doing pretty well. And Allure of Darkness, it banishes your monsters, and honestly, I really don't want to banish away these monsters. I think they're really key in the grave and in your hand, and they'll do a lot better, and there's enough consistency to play without the Allure of Darknesses. Alright, so now moving on to traps, we are playing obviously 2 Dark Contract with the Witch. 2 is more than enough. 1 is not enough just in case they might destroy it or banish it with the Cosmic Cyclone, if someone ever does play that card. But yeah, I usually just like playing 2. And even if I don't lose one of them and I have a spare in my hand, it's always good fodder to discard for its own effect. Then we are playing 1 Dark Contract with Errors. This format, I have to admit that there is rarely any traps aside from Warning and Strike. So I think 1 Errors is more than enough, but it's definitely a great card to stop your opponent. It's way better than Trap Stun. Then we are also playing 1 DD Human Resources. This is pretty much to help recycle our DDDs and add in 2 DDs from our deck that are actually more useful in our certain situations. It's a really good card, and if your opponent ever wants to banish your DD monsters, you can always chain this card and shuffle them back into the deck. That way they don't get banished, because honestly you can't bring back any of the fusions. Otherwise, you can't bring back your Oracle King Diarch and your Genghis from the banished zone. So definitely a good card, and 1 has been doing pretty well for me. And then we are also playing 1 Contract Laundering. Sometimes I just can't pay my life with the Dark Contracts, so generally having the Contract Laundering is a pretty good card. It helps you get rid of the Dark Contracts, and it helps you even draw cards and also help you gain life points. Not too many DD players using this in their decks, and I can understand why, but for me it's a good tech and it's been helping out pretty well. And then for the last of the traps, we are playing 1 Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Warning, and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. These 3 cards are really good, pretty much just to disrupt your opponent's plays. I'm trying to make this deck capable as possible in this current meta. And for the last trap in our deck, we are playing 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. One of those tech cards, and basically if you guys don't know its effect, it's tribute 1 dark monster with 2500 or more attack, and declare 1 card type, spell or trap, and then check your opponent's hand, all spell traps they control, and all cards they draw until the end of their 3rd turn after this card's activation, and destroy all cards of that type. So basically, you're using this to declare spells, and pretty much most of the time, your opponent's going to scoop, especially the Blue Eyes players. Really good card, and it is at 1, so that's unfortunate, but definitely a great card. It's been working out pretty well for me. Alright, so now we're moving on to the extra deck, so let's just get on with it. We're playing 2 of the Wave King Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. I might drop this to 1, but so far it's been doing pretty well. It works really well against Blue Eyes because you pretty much just, most of the time they're going to have at least 2 Blue Eyes on the field, so you can always just take their Blue Eyes, and it's a really funny card. So I've finished a lot of games with this. So far I think 2 is quite good. Then we are playing 2 of the Flame King Genghis, as well as 2 of the Oracle King Diark. I played this 2-2 ratio. It's been working out pretty well for me. I don't really think I'll shift it that much, unless I take out one of these guys to add in a 3rd Oracle King Diark. But overall, this has been working out for me. I don't really think you need any more. 2's more than enough here, and 2's more than enough over here as well. So definitely great cards to have. So that's pretty much it for the fusions. Now we move on to the XEs. So we're pretty much playing 1 Kali Yuga, and pretty much just negating everything on the field. You can pretty much end games with just him alone. So it's a really great card. Then we are playing cards like Big Eye and Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Obviously rank 7s and 8s are really easy in this deck, so these 2 cards are pretty much mandatory. Then we are also playing 1 Bouncer and 1 Beatrice. We do have Blaze King, or sorry, not Blaze King Temujin. It's been changed in the TCG. It's Flame King Genghis. We do have 2 of those, and in certain situations we might want to go for these. I am probably going to take these guys out once I'm able to get a Hope Harbinger. I'm still looking for that card, so I don't have that card in the deck. But if you guys do have that card, certainly take out one of these cards and add in the Hope Harbinger. It's a much better card for the deck because it pretty much just takes your opponent's spells. Then, to end things off, we are playing 2 of the Wave King Caesars, as well as 1 of the Marksman King Tell. A really good card. The Wave King Caesars will pretty much just keep coming back, and the Marksman King Tell is a really situational card. You're not going to use it that much, and once the new support comes out, you're pretty much going to drop into the 1 Wave King Caesar. That's all you'll need. But for now, we don't have that much support for the deck, so I like this ratio. And the last card for the deck is the Aegeon de Sea Castrum. Obviously, I might be taking this out to add in like a Hope Harbinger or a Felgrand. But for now, this card is a really good card. You pretty much just keep banishing your opponent's extra deck cards, and it's a really good card. No one even knows its effect. Yeah, it's a really funny card to use, and it's been working out pretty well for me. Alright, so that's it for now. I can't stress enough that this deck is one of my favorite decks. It's a really fun deck to play, and hopefully I can bring this up to a tournament and top with it, but we'll just find out. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you next time.